So Fernie, I just need to confirm something real quick. Mike from HR messaged you. We just need to confirm that you signed that pledge that you will no longer be dunking Jonathan's head into the toilet.
I told Mike that that pledge can go in the same place where I put Jonathan's head.
Fernie, look, man, it was hard to get you reinstated. All right. If you're wondering why the show went on hiatus for a while, it's because we were having a legal issue.
That
I
was because y'all were fucking lame.
look, I understand you don't like John. I get it, but you don't have to dunk his head in the toilet. Just stay away from him.
Nah, fuck that.
All right. We'll discuss this later. Um, all right. You want to do the intro? Go ahead.
Hey, everybody, this is Fernando from the Rollback Podcast, and today it is 11 count time where me and Eddie sit down and bitch about wrestling.
Yes. At slightly breaking news. I don't know how much you care. We don't have to go in depth in this. Just like the story just broke. Apparently Ryan Nemeth, Nick Nemeth's brother, also known as Dolph Ziggler. Uh,
Is that his real brother or work brother?
no, real brother.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. From what I understand, it's his legit, it's his shoot brother. But reports just came out that he had apparently complained to HR about CM Punk during 2023 about being harassed by him in early 2023, way before. This was post Brawl Out, but before he got kicked out of AEW.
Was he,
Um,
was Ryan Nemeth in AEW?
yeah, he was on the lower card, if we're being honest.
It sounds like a lower card bitching about something.
So apparently he had, well, the thing is, he had filed this report back then, but
CM Punk was mean to me.
I mean,
That's what it sounds like. That's
I'm
what it legit sounds like.
I'm assuming this is a tit for tat thing. CM Punk said Fightful Select reported that CM Punk is being very well liked in WWE, that they really appreciate him. And Punk tweeted, "That's what happens when you don't work in a toxic work environment." So then, Fightful Select just happened to get a hold of these documents that allege abuse from CM Punk and they don't make AEW.
Oh, I just stop. I just want to stop you real quick. I hate the overuse of the word abuse.
You're not wrong. You're done.
It gets used for everything, and it dilutes what the fucking word actually means.
I mean, terminology used within the report, not mine. So the thing is,
No, but that's why. Like, I fucking hate that shit in articles because they want you to click on their fucking article. Oh, a wrestler suffered abuse at the hands of CM Punk when in reality it was like a passing comment, like, hey, you suck.
so according to the report, it was multiple times. He reported it multiple times. Nothing was done about it. He feared that his contract wouldn't be renewed, and sure
It's
enough, it
just funny
wasn't.
that Tony was like, can you shut the fuck up?
Hey man, maybe. So it got to a point where yeah, they didn't renew his contract. He was asked to leave a show. Like supposedly CM Punk told people to tell him to leave. I don't know why. I don't know
I'm
what,
pretty sure it was probably a collision.
but no, most likely. And I don't know why this was, but regardless, the thing is, so my brain jumps to like, oh, this is AEW trying to go on the offensive. Punk just called them a toxic work environment.
Uh-huh.
Here's the thing though. This does not make AEW in a good light either. It's
No,
not,
it doesn't.
it
Because it
doesn't.
makes it also seem that Tony Khan was letting this happen.
Like he was compliant. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if this was AEW releasing this or how the fuck they got it. Because these are HR documents. You can't exactly request them. Like someone has to leak it. So yeah, just something
I
interesting.
wouldn't be surprised if AEW leaked shit.
Wait, to make themselves look bad? I mean,
No, I think they probably
make
thought
them
this
do
would
it
make them
worse.
look good. Like,
No, it
look,
looks
CM Punk
worse.
actually sucks. And you and I both know I've talked plenty of shit about CM Punk.
Yeah.
And I'll give him this. He's actually had a better WWE run than I thought. And that's
Yeah.
because I don't even like him.
Yeah. But so yeah, I don't know. That story literally just broke about an hour ago, from the time of this recording. So interesting info there.
Mhm.
Besides that, the big news that's kind of come out in the last 2 weeks, AEW, it's going to take us 1 minute because not much has happened since Full Gear. Just pretty much that the plan for the main event of World End is Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page versus John Moxley versus Christian.
I'm assuming for the world title.
Yes, sir. That's the planned main event.
I always forget that Moxley's the fucking champion.
Well, because he doesn't wear the title, because that title doesn't mean anything. According to him, in storyline, he doesn't.
Thanks, John. Appreciate you doing that for the company. Thanks.
But yeah, there's that. Also,
Thanks for saying my title sucks.
I mean, I get the idea. I get the concept. He's like,
I
whoever,
know it's just
like,
it can really go one of two ways. And right now, like AEW's not in the best light, so I know what Tony's trying to go for. Like, oh man, yeah, John's bigger than the fucking belt. That's how much of a fucking star he is. He's so big. He's bigger than the belt. But it doesn't help when your company is not getting the greatest criticism right now.
yeah. Well, did we talk about it last time? I told you about the smaller venues, right? Or was that?
Yeah. Yeah, that they're gonna book out smaller venues, because I mean they're not doing great in the larger venues,
Yeah.
and they're trying to save some cash.
Well, so they're running the Hammerstein Ballroom 4 times at the end of December.
Ah, the old Hammerstein Ballroom.
I honestly, man, I think they should buy it, and like that's where.
ECW. ECW.
No, well, I mean, God, they should buy Arena 2300 also. That's the official ECW arena. But yeah, so okay, that's the AEW news, really. That and Tony Storm retired, no one believes it. Like she did it in character. No,
She's taking a break.
yeah.
Man, that's another woman in the fucking break column. Alexa Bliss still out.
2 years?
Uh, huh?
And it's been like almost 2 years, no?
Oh, god damn it, I forget that Alexa's over here. Alexa, stop. But yeah, Bliss is out. Uh, Becky Lynch, I mean, God knows when she's gonna come back.
So she's actually not technically under contract. So I'm curious as to if and when.
I think it's a secret contract.
Maybe you're right. She trademarked the name Rebecca Quinn. If AEW picked her up, fuck, that would be a massive get.
And it's also for media shit. Like if she does movies, she could go by the name, uh, by her name.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well,
It's like
she,
The Rock owning Dwayne Johnson.
well, like it could be like a Buddy Matthews situation where like Becky works with AEW and then Rhea Ripley and Seth Rollins are with WWE, and there you go.
Maybe. I honestly don't think she leaves.
I I can see why she wouldn't leave, but if she did go, I could see the benefits as far as like she can be home more often.
I mean, it's just for me, it's crazy that both women's divisions in WWE and in AEW are just, oh man, they don't have that spark right now.
Tony Storm felt like the spark. Mariah May is trying to pick it up. Monet has gotten a little stale. Like they're dragging out Camille turning on her.
Well, fucking, what's her face? Soraya?
Yeah, Paige.
She hasn't really, like, I know like what they went for when they hired her, but I don't think she's lived up to like her hype.
I would say she had a big moment at the first All Out, but I don't know, man. Ever since then, or the first or the last All In, but I don't know, man. At this point,
Other than that, yeah, she hasn't really lived up to that. Like, holy shit, like she's fucking back.
no. I definitely think there. I think the good thing is that AEW is trying to work on their women's division more, which is a good thing. Which one last thing before we jump into WWE because there's a lot of Survivor Series stuff to talk about. The last Rampage is set to air at the end of the year. It's officially being canceled.
Really?
It's going to be a New Year's Smash, and it's canceled after that.
Oh, wow.
So finally, they're going to kill off the show. Which
That's good because Rampage is honestly, I always thought Rampage was a stupid fucking name. And I mean, how many times did you hear, oh, did you watch Rampage last night?
at the beginning, it did feel like a big deal. Like they really did pack it, but as time went on, like you can only maintain that momentum so much, and then you have a third show to worry about. You can't maintain that forever.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, so that's the deal with Rampage is being canceled. Both women's divisions are low depleted. Speaking of women's divisions, um, before,
WWE's fucking maxing out their women's divisions.
They're introducing not one but two women's mid card championships.
Oh, that's a fucking bad idea.
So how many titles does WWE have now? We have on the men
That's a lot. They have a lot.
WWE Championship, World Heavyweight Championship, Intercontinental, US, Raw Tag Team, SmackDown Tag Team, or World WWE, whatever the fuck you want to call them. So the men's have six championships plus the speed title, and then the women's speed title, women's world title,
They have a
inter
women's speed title?
yeah, they have a women's speed title.
Jesus.
Then they have World Heavyweight Women's, US Women's, and the Tag Team Championships. That's 13 titles, and that's only the two shows. If you count in NXT, they have the NXT title, Women's NXT title, North American, Women's North American, and then do they have the Cruiserweight title still? I don't recall.
No, I think the cruiserweight title got retired.
Okay, so WWE has 17 championships. That does not make a world title feel special anymore to me. Like if it,
It just really depends like what you're using. Like the men's titles are fine, obviously, because the men's have a pretty deep division. But like fucking the women's division is light, is really light in the ass. It does not need tag titles. It does not need two mid-card titles. It needs one world title and one mid-card title.
But I would say that's true if they were on the same damn show. I am still of the opinion, put all the women on Raw for the third hour and let them have a 1 hour show to themselves. I
Uh, Even then, I'm not a big fan of that mentality because I'm like, it's kind of just like if you're throwing them scraps.
I mean, give them the opening hours. That way it doesn't feel like it. Or give them the final hour. Like that way it feels like
But that's why, like, you give them the final hour, it's like, oh, go have your hour and don't cry, don't cry. There, you get your hour, you get your hour of TV.
then what if you give them the first hour?
I just feel like doing it, like putting in naturally,
Yeah, I could see that. Uh,
like like intertwining women's matches, not just like putting it just like, oh, like we have to put in an hour of women's matches, because then that's when people are gonna turn off the show.
yeah. Hmm.
Like not because they hate it, but because they just feel like it's forced.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, speaking of the women's division, you want to jump into Survivor Series?
Oh yeah, sure.
Did you see it?
Yeah, let's get into Survivor Series.
No, but did you see it?
Oh yeah.
So, first match, Women's War Games. We got Rhea Ripley in a pretty badass mask. I'm pretty sure that B4B is either Back for Blood or Bad for Buddy, like Buddy Matthews. I don't know. Could be one or the other. Uh,
I think it's Back for Blood,
I believe it. Um,
especially with the whole deal of her like busting up her face.
yeah. I think it was her orbital socket. Yeah. So we had Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, and Bailey versus Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae, which
Fuck man, Nia Jax. I don't get why they hire her. Like I just don't get the appeal.
see, and it's hilarious because, and I know a lot of people were giving her shit for the chair shots. Here's the thing. Like she can't. It's like the William Regal situation. I can't hit myself. I can't. If they set themselves up for a headshot and she doesn't like, dude, I can't hit you in the head with this. Fucking bend
Yeah,
it, hit you in the back. Like, what do you expect? You can't. Or I can give my coworker a concussion. Like, which way are we doing this? You're setting me up. You're making me look bad right now.
yeah.
And
Yeah. I mean, and I'm just not a fan of her work. Like her work is not.
not the
It's not
best.
the greatest. Like I don't get why she's champion.
Um, she she's just like the closest thing they have to a giant. Like
Yeah.
her and Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel's tall, Naya's big. Like no one can lift her. So I mean
Wow.
they
Wow, Eddie.
what hey man, I'm not fucking lying to you.
Wow.
You could lift Big Show. Well, John Cena could. I think the
I
only
always forget that Big Show was in Jingle All the Way. We were watching it the other day, and he's the big Santa Claus, the I'm gonna deck your halls, bub.
I forget about that. You know, I saw Jingle All the Way for the first time last year.
Really? I love that movie.
I
Fun fact, that's when he was plowing his nanny.
Good for him.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's when he had both of his sons, the one with Shriver and the one with the nanny. Or not the nanny, the maid.
Did have the sons met?
I don't know. There's like a whole like deal about like Schwarzenegger's kids. Like I know I want to say like Catherine, the one that's with uh Chris Pratt.
Hmm.
And I think the oldest son, the one that was in The Boys,
Yeah.
I want to say that they have like talked to him, but it's just it's kind of weird because I mean, I'm of the camp of not blaming him because I mean, you can't fucking blame the kid. He didn't do anything. It's not his fault that Schwarzenegger was like, Maria says my calves are small. Are they small? Do you like my calves? Here, do you like this in you? And they just went at it. But
I
you
can't
can't
believe the kid
blame
being born.
yeah, you can't blame him. I think what doesn't help is that he just looks exactly like Arnold.
The bastard?
Yeah. Like he looks exactly like Arnold. His name is Joseph Baena.
Let me see. Oh shit, he does look like him. That way, that's
And
his
then
son?
huh?
The one that he rides bikes with all the time?
Yeah.
What about his other son?
Oh, look up the other son that he had at the same time.
Let's see. Sons side by side. The fuck? What? I mean, he's tall as fuck, the other one.
Look up Christopher Schwarzenegger.
Christopher. Let's see. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. He had them at the same time. They they are like I think like weeks apart.
So which one was with the mom and which one was with
Which one looks Mexican?
the one that looks like he's in good shape?
Yeah.
So
So
the
it's those
so
immigrant genes.
the nanny's kid is like badass, and then the his wife's son is soft.
Both honestly, both of his kids, like both of his sons that he had with Shriver,
Mhm.
look like dorks.
Damn, and but he really does claim his
Uh, It's only right that he does. I mean, it's not again, it's not the fucking kid's fault that Schwarzenegger got hot and heavy one day.
honestly though, I'm glad he claims him because I mean, how many
It's
dads
kind
are
of hard not to claim him. He looks fucking like him.
I mean, I dare him not to. But but okay, so fucking Jesus, we got way off
The
topic.
women's division.
So the the women's division. So Nia Jax, you don't like her work. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not a
I'm
fan.
not the biggest fan. She's fine. Who took the pin in this? I think it was Raquel Rodriguez, or was it Candice LeRae?
No, it was Rhea. Pinned Liv.
Oh, the riptide through the table. That's right. I forgot. Yeah, you're right. Do you think it was the right call though? Like, do you think I'm tired of Rhea, Liv, and Raquel's feud? Like, it's been going on for fucking like 6 months now. I'm tired.
I mean the whole like mommy thing has gotten kind of used already.
I I'm just tired of the Judgment Day feud. Like, fuck it. Let's jump over to it's technically the fourth match on the card, but let's just jump over to it. We had Gunther versus Damian Priest in a pretty good match, but it was kind of waylaid by the fact that Finn Balor hit a coup de grace on Damian Priest and threw him back in the ring for Gunther to defeat him.
Yeah.
Gunther didn't need the help, but the fact that, oh my God, we're getting more Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. I'm getting tired of this feud, man. Again, this has been going since for like 6 months.
They need to settle it in a first blood match.
I, you know why I never liked First Blood?
Why?
I feel like that's too easy of a cop out. Like, how many times have we seen people get busted open in the mid match and they keep going?
Yeah, but that was a special match. Unlike fucking Moxley. Oh, Moxie's bleeding.
Exactly, it's standard now. So like, fucking give a fuck
Moxie, you
about
could
match more
fucking
sport.
have a drinking game every time that he blades.
You die of alcoholism.
Oh, look, there he is in the corner. He's moving a little suspiciously.
Yeah.
Oh, he gigged himself.
Mm. But okay, so we have so Gunther defeated Damian Priest. Gunther was weirdly made to look human in this feud. Like he got beaten up several times. He had like a goofy expression on his face, like "Oh no" when he got put through the razor's edge through a table. I didn't
Hmm.
like it. I didn't like how human Gunther felt.
How they made him look like a bitch.
Kinda like I feel like Gunther should have been like an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. It should have been two hostages just beating the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, I mean, especially if they're trying to make Gunther, I mean, a fucking badass.
Yeah. Oh, well, you'll also be happy to hear this. He's already entered renegotiations for a new contract with WWE.
Oh yeah, he ain't leaving.
I wonder how much money AEW would throw at him to leave.
I don't know. I saw a video today where they're talking about how like the reason why that whole CM Punk situation was so like turbulent
Mhm.
with Tony Khan was because he's probably never he's probably never gotten a job that he had to really apply for and make it based on his own merit. And this is the first time that he has had to personally fire somebody.
I would agree with you. I don't think in most jobs, most businesses, you can trust people to maintain professionalism at all times.
Hmm.
But professional sports are a different thing. Like if you have a wide receiver like fucking Antonio Brown, they know they're so good, I can do antics and you're not gonna fire me. They have the bargaining power. So he was
Hmm.
not good at conflict resolution. He was not good at de-escalation. He was not a former wrestler, so not everyone respects him. Like everyone respects Triple
But
H.
that's why he's not a boss, but he's in that role.
See, no, but what I'm saying is if I think it's also working against him that he's not a wrestler. Because if he
Yeah.
was a wrestler, it could be like,
He's
look,
just a boy who likes playing with his guys.
I mean, he's a billionaire. When you want to own your own wrestling company,
Uh, I I would, but I'd watch from afar. I wouldn't get involved in it. I'd be like, nope, I'm gonna break something.
you wouldn't want to do the booking?
Fuck no, dude.
Are you shitting me? That'd be awesome.
I've played my GM mode. It doesn't end great a lot of the times.
Nah, fuck that. I'd be down. Let's
I
go.
don't want my company to go under,
You have too little faith in yourself.
or maybe just the right amount of faith.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so Gunther, Damian Priest, we already got through that one. Let's jump on to Braun Breaker versus Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser. Great triple threat match. I thought Sheamus was gonna win the title here because he's just missing the IC title. That's probably a Mania match now at this point.
I just wonder what they're gonna do with Sheamus, because I mean, it just feels like he's kicking tires.
I it feels like he's a solid mid-card hand. He's JBL after the world title run. Like he's a solid upper mid-carder. If you need to call him to the main event, you can. But he's really
Yeah,
good at like brawling and like being the guy. Hey, if you want to get to the world title, you got to go through me.
yeah,
He's
he's
that
a
guy.
stepping stone.
Yeah, he's a very good stepping stone. He's a great wrestler, but that's what he is. He's a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So when do you think Sheamus wins the IC title?
Fuck, man. I mean, I didn't think that they would take the belt off of Braun Breaker, but I mean, they took it off him and put it on Jay for like a minute, and then they gave it back to him. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins it like at Mania or some other premium live event.
I feel like it's getting to a point where all the B shows don't really feel like a big deal anymore. Like only for the mid card titles. Am I wrong?
Uh, Which one was it? Bad Blood was okay. I like Bad Blood.
It,
I just think it's funny that people keep giving Cody shit. Like, this is the third PLE that he hasn't defended his title. I'm like, Roman hardly fucking ever defended the belt. Like, towards the end, anyways. Why the fuck is it a big deal when Cody isn't defending it?
no, I agree with that because Cody's supposed to be better than Roman. Like that was a criticism levied at Roman. They weren't like, oh look, see how really he defends his title. They were like
But that's why it's like they don't have anyone that they could book against them.
against Roman or
Like
Cody.
Cody, he has like no one to go against. It would be Roman again, but right now Roman's face.
No, it would be Kevin Owens.
Mm.
But you don't want to book that again so soon, or fucking feed him a mid Carter on
Well,
SmackDown.
they're doing Owens versus Cody at Saturday Night Main Event.
I mean, then they're waiting on the match for that. But I feel like this was a situation where, and I really hope they have the white ropes for that one. Um, but no, I understand Triple H being very contained with how each show is gonna feel, but I don't like it. I just don't like how they're stretching the matches like to an ungodly amount. Like for example, Saturday Night's Main Event right now, we have about four matches set. It's Liv versus Io Sky. Gee, I wonder who's winning that match. Gunther versus Finn Balor. Gee, I wonder who's winning that match. And we have Cody versus Kevin Owens. Gee, I wonder who's winning that match. Like, put Cody versus Kevin Owens as Survivor Series. Have the War Games match here because that's more unpredictable. And I understand that Survivor Series has become synonymous with War Games. I get that, but this card for Saturday Night's Main Event is very, 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 very predictable.
Yeah.
Like I,
I also wish that they would do Elimination Chamber before Survivor Series.
or fuck it, have that be the Survivor Series match
Yeah.
because it. I mean,
Yeah, because I'm like, I really hate that the Elimination Chamber is right before Mania. Like, they're not gonna fucking change the belt. Like, it's super fucking rare that they're gonna change the fucking belt like this late in the year.
I think it's best served as like, all right, you lost the Rumble, here's your last chance. I think that's where it does its best job is when it's a last chance thing where, hey, you want to get to Mania, you got to go through the chamber. I don't hate
Mm.
that, but dude, I'm so tired of the chamber um being almost an afterthought. Like the chamber match happens and then what?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I think it's also because like there's no stakes. There's really no stakes in there. I
Like
think it would help if like it was not so close to Mania where you could actually change the fucking title.
or even if it was if it didn't have its own pay-per-view, if they only busted out, hey man, we
Yeah, that too. I'm like, why is there a fucking pay-per-view named after the Elimination Chamber
vacate
when
the
only two matches use it?
no for real, vacate the title like get rid of that pay-per-view, go back to No Way Out, and bust out the chamber once every 2 years when it's a big deal. Like the Hell in a Cell. We've only since Triple H took over, I think we've only seen what three? It was Cody versus Seth, Edge versus Finn, and I
Was
think
that Triple H? I thought that was still
Vince.
Vince.
Triple H was a little more involved.
Hmm.
Like he was still in charge of NXT, but that was WrestleMania 38 where he had a little more say. Post
Hmm.
WrestleMania 38. Let me see. Hell in a Cell matches. I'm gonna pull them all up just to get the list out. Fuck, there have been so many, and there have been so many bad ones. Yeah. So since 20, let me see here. No, no, no. Okay. There was Edge versus Seth, Cody
Yeah.
versus Seth, Edge versus Finn Balor, and then Punk versus Drew. In since 2021, there have only been one, two, three, four. Oh wait, no, that's a lie. Holy shit! In 2021, there were four Hell in a Cell matches.
Hmm.
No, five. There were five Hell in a Cell matches in 2021. There was Roman versus Ray, and then Lashley versus Xavier Woods, and then the two at the pay-per-view. Wow, that is terrible. At least it
Hmm.
feels like a big deal now. Mm. But anyway,
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean they were oversaturating um with Hell in a Cells for a while.
I agree. But all right, so let's jump over to the other mid-card title real quick, and then we can get to the main event. So we had Shinsuke Nakamura in his new gimmick in his like third reset as a badass.
You mean Demon?
Hmm?
His demon gimmick?
Have they officially called it a demon gimmick?
No, he just looks like a demon.
I mean, he has the red around his eyes. I'm just glad he didn't lose because this is the third time that they've been like, we repackaged him, check him out, and he won for once.
I'm surprised he stayed. I thought he was gonna leave for sure.
I mean, from what I understand, and again, this is limited knowledge, but from what
They were gonna take away my visa.
oh God, he's
Triple H said if I leave, they were gonna take it away.
God, that's fucked up, Freddie. Oh my. From what I understand, Shinsuke Nakamura is a very chill guy. He's almost like Randy Orton, where he's like, dude, I put in my miles, I made my money. At this point, I don't want the world title. Like, you're not gonna get me on firing on all cylinders every night. Like, if you book me as a special attraction, I can do that. But if you book me to wrestle every fucking SmackDown, you're gonna deteriorate me and my how special I am. So I'm not gonna. Does that make sense? He's chill.
Yeah.
He's good with not being the world champion. He's fine with being in the mid card. So yeah, that's the Shinsuke we got, and that's the Shinsuke we're gonna have going forward.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, again, if he paid his dues, why not? But let's jump over to the men's War Games match, where we had arguably OG Bloodline plus CM Punk versus Bloodline 2000 plus Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
What did you think? I thought it was fine. It didn't feel spectacular. It felt fine up until
I
the
thought it was a good match.
What did you think of Roman subtly, it's not subtly, blocking Punk so Sami Zayn could go out there?
I mean, I'm not surprised he had to show he was like, I'm big dog here.
And see, that's interesting. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. But see, yeah, that's interesting. So finally Punk gets in there. Roman's trying to get in, but they lock the cage door. He climbs over and just goes off, and we have like an
What I
all-out.
think is funny is that they try to make that seem like a huge moment. I'm like, he's just climbing the cage.
I could see why the live crowd would be like, "Oh, I could see it."
No, but like the announcers,
I mean, dude, they gotta sell everything, man. Come on.
like when I was hearing it, I was like, we've seen people do this before. Come on.
What's it called? So we have what else happened? So we had that. We had Bronson Reed break his fucking ankles.
Oh
Uh
yeah, I heard that he broke his ankle jumping off of the cage, right?
yeah, he said but in the suite he said pain is temporary, moments are forever.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I
That's what Edge's whole mentality was when he fucking broke his shit.
I think when the last time we had a dude that big jump off, I think was Rikishi.
Oh yeah, when he just fell.
No, not from the Hell in a Cell. Didn't he jump off the cage once and like did like a
Yeah.
leg?
Oh yeah, those two of them. Yeah.
Christ, I cannot imagine how fucked his back is from that. But yeah. So there was a moment where I think Punk saved Roman. I don't remember. Oh, from the table splash. And then Roman saved Punk when Jacob was about to go off on him.
Mm.
Which, I mean, fair enough. They had, I think, like twin. Oh no, everyone went off on Solo Sikoa at that point. Roman pinned him, and it's weird because it felt like it should be a moment, but this whole show felt very underwhelming. Like
What
Fox
what
match.
what annoyed me, I think me along with a lot of other people were expecting someone to fucking pop out at the very end.
Like Drew or
Like anybody, like The Rock even, fucking Rock popping out.
see. Imagine if the pay-per-view ended and then like there's a spotlight that shines into like a suite and you just see The Rock with the title belt.
Yeah.
He just
Like
stands there.
I honestly thought The Rock was gonna pop out.
I don't know. Like it felt very underwhelming. And reports are that it was by design because it's like the next 120 days are going to feature two Saturday night main events, the Royal Rumble, the Chamber, and
Mm,
WrestleMania one night one and night two. Like we're gonna have six major shows in the next
mm,
120 days from WWE. The
hmm.
only issue I have is the fact that that's a major show almost every 3 weeks in theory. Um, and I'll criticize AEW for this. They had a spot where they had too many big shows in the span of a month and a half. They had two pay-per-views and like Fighter Fest and then like New Year's Slam not New Year's Slam, but there was something like that, right? There were four specials in the span of like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That's way too much specials. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that means WWE has too much on their plate, or is that going to diminish how special everything feels? It feels like content oversaturation on some level. I
I
hope
honestly think it's on both levels, on AEW and WWE. I think they're both putting a little too much out there, and it's causing a fatigue with wrestling fans.
yeah, I agree completely. Like, fuck man. I wish AEW and obviously WWE too, but I wish AEW would pull back a bit and be like, look, we need to make these shows feel special again.
Yeah.
Versus every week, Quake in the Lake or the Jericho Cruise. It's like I get it. But you're not building anymore. You've arrived. You need to stabilize now.
Yeah.
But
No, yeah, I agree. I just think right now both companies are really pushing out a lot, and it's causing a lot of fatigue with fans.
yeah. So, lastly, before we go, I want to bring up, did you see Raw?
Yes.
Okay, particularly, I just want to talk about I guess, the Drew McIntyre return, but more specifically, the promo that happened between Seth and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Um, where Sami says, "Hey man, we didn't want a team with Punk, but you wouldn't join us."
Uh,
It was a fair point. Like, well, he has a point, but then Seth had the best line. He said, "Oh, and I think Sami Zayn said, you made this monster 10 years ago." And
yeah.
on the back foot, Seth says, and I think this was the best part,
You blew him.
besides that, he never apologized. He's still the same douchebag. He never said he was sorry for what he did to me, to you, to anyone.
That sounds a little bitchy, a little
Hey man, as
bit.
someone who has been
He
wrong,
never apologized.
fucker, you never said you're sorry, so you can eat a dick. I agree with him. I agree. Dude never said he was sorry. You need to apologize, and then
Well,
we can.
Roman's still not gonna say he's sorry. He's not gonna fucking lose face.
Then they shouldn't have teamed with him. That's just my input. But yeah, I really like that one part of like, dude, Seth's not wrong. He never said he was sorry. Seth apologized to Roman for fucking him
Mm,
over, but he never apologized for murdering everybody.
yeah.
His 4 year reign of terror. Uh,
That's true. I mean,
I don't know.
it's- it, I'm just curious what they're gonna do because every time I see this, I'm like, okay, well, this is another guy that Cody can't feud with. Because I'm like, you're fucking running out of big stars here. Like, the only one that's left is Kevin. Man, it's like if you're gonna do Kevin Owens, pull the fucking trigger.
I would say Owens. I mean, not Orton.
I mean, that'd be a good one. A whole like brother against brother.
Maybe Mania.
I mean,
There's
fuck,
also
dude, Mania's creeping up, and I'm like, I don't know who he's gonna fucking wrestle.
there's so many big matches that they could pull, but it's getting to a point where they're blue balling us so much that it doesn't feel special.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, so that's everything. Most likely we're having Punk versus Seth at Mania. Most likely we're having Rock versus Roman at Mania. I'm probably Cody versus Orton at Mania, most likely.
hopefully, fuck, man, they need something.
But yeah, so that's gonna be the 11 count. For any final thoughts?
Uh, No, I mean that's it. That's all I had.
Fair.
I'm
But folks,
empty.
well, this has been the 11 count. Be sure to like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. This is our podcast where, as Fernie says, we bitch about wrestling. Be sure to check out all the other tons of content that we also have, all the other videos that we put out constantly.
On
Um,
our OnlyFans.
yes, our OnlyFans, specifically the one with feats.
Yeah.
Mm. But yeah, Fernie, take us out.
Darian said they call it OnlyFans because we're the only ones on it. What a
Ow.
bitch, right?
I didn't say that, but ow.
Fucking hit her. I'm gonna hit her next time.
Jesus Christ, Fernie, let us.
I'm kidding. I'm winking. Ah.
I'm worried because you don't have the camera on.
Yeah, you can't see the bruises. Thanks, Darren.
Fucking Christ, let us out. Let us out.
Thanks everybody for joining us for the 11 count, where we sometimes hit our girlfriends and talk about wrestling.
Bye, everyone. Ring the fucking
Darius,
bell.
ring the bell.
Oh, you're not right. You're not right.